Hi there, Gary Jenkins again speaking to you from my little sacred grove, place where I can come and get some serenity as I think and want to record this for you. If you like what I do, please consider subscribing, give me a like. I appreciate every comment that comes in. Thank you so much. If you push the little bell thing, it will let you know every time I post something new. My goal is one a day. So some days you get two and some days you don't. I've had some problems with internet recently, but the man has come by and tells us that it's all fixed now. So I'm looking forward to getting this downloaded and off to you guys within 2 hours of completing this recording. Today I want to reminisce with you. Back in the 80s, there was this television show called StarTrek The Next Generation. And they had an episode in their very first season that really intrigued me. It was called Home Soil. In this episode, they came across an alien race like they had never met before. And the alien race called the human beings ugly bags of water. You know, that's what I had a professor talk to us about one time, but he didn't use the ugly. He just said, we're basically bags of water with one tube here and a tube on the other end to get things out. And he said, but we carry 70% of the water in our bodies at all times. And Dr. Emoto in Japan, a wonderful professor who studied water and the characteristics of water, oftentimes identified the fact that 70% of our nature is water as human beings. Now, his interesting experiments, there's been like 5 or 6 different books published about it with beautiful photography, but basically here's his experiments that he kept conducting. He took water. He put it in a jar. He would post on it happiness, post on another one sadness, and tell people when they looked at the happy jar, just think of happy thoughts. When you see the sad jar, think sad thoughts. Over a period of time or a number of days, they'd take the jars, they'd take some water out of each jar, they would freeze them separately, and just as they were starting to form ice crystals, they would take them out and put them under the ice microscope. Now, the happiness crystals were just beautiful structures, well organized, geometric shapes and forms. Sad, distorted. Didn't matter what he put in there. Love, hate, kindness, hurt. The results were always the same. Those items that we consider positive emotions, always came out with beautifully well-structured crystals, and the other ones ugly. He decided to change it by putting polluted water in the experiment. Well, would polluted water react to those words of kindness and love and positivity? And would the negative ones react in the same way? And what he found was that it was true. In fact, in the polluted water, the water actually clarified itself from all of, as he put it, the intention of the people giving positive thoughts to the water. Now, this ugly bag of water is talking to you. Because if we are truly 70% of water, and Dr. Emoto has proven that how one thinks has intentions towards a jar of water must be applicable to how I would be myself with my intention to myself, this ugly bag of water. Now, I don't really think I'm ugly. I just think I have a face that was made for radio. But beyond all of that, folks, here we go. When I work with people, when I talk to people, oftentimes I get a real strong impression from the words that they use, the phrases, the combinations. They don't like themselves. I've actually had people, when I've asked them, I said, how do you feel about you? I really hate myself. Oh, I think I'm one of the most disgusting human beings on the planet. How in the world can somebody who thinks that way about themselves actually strive for something far greater than themselves without sabotaging it along the way. Because number one, they don't feel like they deserve it if it starts to happen. And you've seen this over and over again. I swear, you've probably been in the workplace where you saw somebody who was getting set up for promotion suddenly not come in late, have arguments with the boss, ruin the promotion for themselves. Because they didn't deserve it, they thought, or they didn't feel right. Now, loving yourself, don't get that confused with being narcissistic. One thing about a narcissist, folk, they're always either the superhero or they're the super victim. There's no middle ground with these people. With a healthy human being who is loving themselves, they recognize, I have good moments, I have bad moments, and I make a lot of mistakes. Now, a lot of people don't like to admit to that, but we do. If we didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't be making any improvements. Hopi grandfather of mine used to tell me every morning, pray to the Great Spirit and ask him to bless you with 20 mistakes today. He said that way you will grow and become better. Simple philosophy. It's true. If you want to see changes in the outer world, you have to do the inner work. Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. If you want your world to change, you've got to change you. And let's start off with just loving ourselves. And the easiest way to love ourselves is start taking some inventory. And we recognize the things we did wrong, and we all have. There's nobody who's perfect who's listening to the sound of my voice.